Mr. Mayor, I just want to clarify one thing. Jake, I mentioned that the food pantry was staffed daily, not open daily. So they have people that work in there.
No, it's closed. I ain't gonna,
Okay.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so it's closed the rest of the time.
Okay.
But if you wanna volunteer for the other days,
There's people there, yeah.
There's
Especially,
people there every day.
no, there's not.
Okay.
Frank Petsy, 11 Hemlock. Some statements were made before in reference to statements were made last week in reference to the town center. I have your own minutes here, which are
minutes from
this month. Explanation to create new town center along Route 9 for intersection of Route 9 and Barnegat Boulevard, north just before the intersection of Route 9 and Gunning Road. You guys voted on that. That's your minutes.
That's, Frank, there were two components. If you read that, there was a second ordinance that was adopting a commercial core, which then extended from Old Main Shore Road south to the Stafford line. So that's only one of the two ordinances.
And the other element here,
Well,
to draft element here. And to create a new town center area along Route 9 corridor approximately from the intersection of Route 9 and Barnegat Boulevard north to just before the intersection of Route 9 and Gunning Road.
you have to read the one that says the commercial core. And those are the two sections. That we're dealing with.
Here, and it doesn't.
Yes, it does. There were, on the ordinances, there was an ordinance for town center, and there was an ordinance for commercial core. And the town center goes north of Gunning River Road, and the commercial core starts at Old Main Shore Road and Route 9 and goes south to Stafford line.
Well, at the planning board meeting, and this is, these are your records, not my records. But anyway, and the reason I asked wasn't because who owned it, who was gonna sell it. We're up to $1 million, and I told you, I called the state, but you guys just look like I'm crazy. $1 million for a master plan today. And I'm concerned about every time we turn around, we're changing something, and there's more and more money. If you guys can justify the $1 million, and then say, on the other hand, you can't justify $200,000 if you did lose the case against Walters, it's not justified, yet you're gonna spend $1 million just in kids that go to school there. And it was also mentioned about what the judge said, well, I have the order here. And it was via the telephone. And it says it right here, and I went up to Jerry Datsey after the meeting. Here, enclosed, and this is by Grasso. Enclosed, please find case management try order as agreed upon during the telephone conversation.
Frank, if there was, do you think we would have backed down unless we can see that the township is going to get hammered? Do you think I'm going to jeopardize? That's your interpretation, Frank. I'm going by what legal counsel is telling me, and I'm not going to jeopardize the township getting hit with $4 or $5 million lawsuit.
You weren't going to $4 or $5 million.
Frank,
And in fact, if you read what the one.
I read everything. I was the one that initiated the lawsuit.
If you take away him, allow him to bill, give him the $200,000. That's what it says.
No, it doesn't.
Shall I read that?
Frank, no, we're not going into
All
that
right, well, that's
anymore.
what it
Next
does
question.
say. That's what it says.
Next question.
But you would have lost the case. What happened in the beginning? And you had the alliance, which someone up there just mentioned, all they are against the building.
That's their job.
That's what they're supposed to do. It's not that they're a bad guy. It's
I
not
didn't
the
say that.
Department of
I didn't say
Environmental
that, Frank.
Protection is to protect. The Interstate Environmental Commission was to protect the
The
water
Pinelands
quality for the
Commission,
region.
the Pinelands
That's what we
Commission,
did.
right, Frank? Isn't it the Pinelands Commission is the one that's supposed to take, they're the ones that have the authority, and they're the ones that okayed it. They went
Well,
against
no,
what the
well,
study showed.
If you read in what they did the same day, they changed their mind. I do have the document, I have it here too. From the state of New Jersey, the Department of Environmental Protection, the chief of staff of the environmental sensitive, and what did he say? This,
Yeah, I remember, you showed me that.
okay,
Right.
they spiked it, they should be not given any further consideration, and they were late in what they did. Okay? That's the DEP that says that. So I think we had a good shot in court, but when we went to court and we wanted someone to join in the court, we were told, or they were told, we don't want them as part of this suit. Why would you want an environmental agency as part of your suit? Wasn't costing you anything. As a friend of the court, it doesn't cost you a dime. It was just like me entering. I could have entered as a friend of the court. But anyway, it's done, it's done. Now, I also noted on the shared service is good, but how much are we sharing now? I noticed these buses, the insurance, how does that work out? Where's the liability if it's in their town with their people on and they get hit? I'm just looking out for us. How is this working? I don't want you talking about getting hammered.
There's agreement in place. First off, Ocean Township, Barnegat Township are covered by the same insurance, Ocean County Joint Insurance Fund. There's an executed contract in place regarding liability. If they're in Ocean Township performing Ocean Township duties, then it goes to Ocean Township. If they're in Barnegat, then it goes to Barnegat Township.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking that is because we had a bus, doesn't run. And it was getting into a problem. We only had 12 people. And what it was costing. And after we didn't have the accident. After one or two accidents happened locally, I think one was in Townsville where it went through a store window or whatever. All of a sudden, we had to get insurance, to back us up from Lloyd's of London to get a blanket policy in addition to the $1 million we had to get another $5 million because, and all I'm worried about is we're covered. That's all I want to hear. That
$5 million seems steep, but Ocean County Joint Insurance Fund covers both towns.
well, that's why we got rid of the bus, Dave. We want to get rid of the bus. That's exactly why we got rid of the bus. We couldn't afford it, the insurance anymore, for the liability on it. And I noted on, I was talking before about, our obligation. We have quite a few parks. And all of a sudden I see another $50-some thousand, but I'm looking over here and it's got proposed softball fields. How many proposals do we have here? We got 2 fields down there now. So I'm looking, it says proposed football field, and there is a football field there. So that schematic or that drawing, something doesn't click with that rendering. And somebody's like, what's going on there?
That's what's already down there.
I mean,
but-
no, that eventually we will have 3 full-size baseball fields, a
Baseball or softball?
softball, a competition-style turf field, in addition to the practice field, which is situated to the north side of the complex where the 2 fields are.
In other words, you're taking an existing softball field, not the new one, the old one is gonna be gone where the football field is?
We're moving them in order to accommodate 3 full fields down there.
Where,
Realigning them, that's
Yeah.
all. They're just being realigned. The
okay,
backstops.
well, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, you got the one football field, where are you putting the other football field that you're realigning?
Basically, where the existing football field is now, it will remain there.
It's the softball field that's gonna be realigned. The two
Okay.
fields down there, they're just being realigned, that's all. Just the backstops.
In order to fit 3 fields.
And, okay, because that really, looking at that didn't kind of make sense. If you're familiar with down there with the football field, the softball field, which is a good softball field, uses part of that football field,
Right.
and then the new one is to the right of that, and then the other is where you're gonna put a lot of money in synthetic turf.
You need a boat down there now.
Yeah, it is kind of wet down there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one. I apologize. I got pictures here I want to share with you. You have, it was funny tonight on the agenda, and I almost missed it,
Pictures of what?
talking, and these pictures were given to me by a resident. Lower Shore. I know Lower Shore. The sand pit. These are the pictures there's more, other than the picture that you got in the paper the other day.
Talking about shoreline?
Shoreline.
Shoreline.
These are, I know the law because I'm an environmental guy. You don't, that's what you don't do, and there's hundreds of tires, hundreds of them, being stockpiled. Tiger mosquitoes, worst thing in the world, that's how tiger mosquitoes breed, because of tires. Then there's a trailer in there, I didn't know, there's a trailer in there where they're working out of now. These are a picture a resident took and left for me. But anyway, they're in violation, number one. And I also took time, and I have it here, I'm reading the law, it's about 300 pages. But I've got the one from page 187 to 192, you can look, John, if you want to. It's what Shoreline should have done already, since he went bankrupt. Bringing, and this is from the Pinelands, not Alliance, the Pinelands. I got the information from them, and what they're supposed to be doing already, remediating that area that they destroyed. Or, you know, they didn't destroy, they took this stuff, it is supposed to be done. That, they haven't even started that yet. And they're working there every day, and you see it here, and I mean, every time I pass, and I got a bunch of the Wawa boys and Mirage boys, they keep me informed, they know everything that's going on there, and now they're taking pictures. So we got a problem there, and I think I recommended a long time ago to this body, that should be only, if it's gonna be developed, which I don't know if it can be now with all this stuff that's in there, but to look at it as commercial, period, no houses in there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sir?
Daniel Day, 200 Edison Road. My question is, you talked about hiring 2 assistant clerks for the court. Being part-time, would they be eligible for Blue Cross Blue Shield or your medical coverage? No? Okay, I just looked at the little dollars.
Sure,
I'm just
absolutely.
learning your politics. And how about the picture that would be put on the building? Would that be paid for?
The picture?
For an artist, yeah, you were talking about on the...
Oh, on the food pantry?
Yeah,
No,
on the
that,
pantry.
we're looking into possibly some students in art classes and stuff like that. We're not gonna pay for that.
Okay.
Be a volunteer.
Because, you know, I mean, some of these artists are not cheap.
Oh, no, we're not hiring anybody. It's not gonna be a Picasso or anything.
Thank you, sir. Sir? Yes.
Hi, my name is Ray Leschak. I live at 116 Redwood Drive, Pinewood Estates. Whoever Dave Hale's upper was, he wasn't at the meeting with them, but it didn't matter. I'm a little bit confused though. He mentioned the fact that it's going to be looked at as a capital improvement, the swimming pool. If it's an amenity that's supposed to be in a rent, I'm a little bit confused as to what an amenity is, what a capital improvement is. Somebody can clear that up a little bit.
Capital improvement is a improvement that has a useful life of greater than 5 years. Mr. Hale indicated that the existing pool at Pinewood has exceeded its useful life and would cost more to repair it than to replace it. They're replacing the pool with a vinyl type pool. You'll have increased patio space around the pool. In addition, we'll have a ADA approved lift so people can get in and out of the pool.
Yeah, you confirmed that with
Yes.
the fiberglass and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, just curiosity things at this point. Where they dug the trenches on the eastbound side of 72, the same area, I never seen water on the road in that area. It's a little bit of a mystery as to why they dug the trenches.
I'll let John handle it.
Because they're doing the shoulder widening on the road, they're creating more impervious cover, and the state stormwater regulations require that they manage the additional stormwater that's being generated from the road. They elected to do it by putting in the ditches. That was a decision that was made by the state, by the New Jersey Department of Transportation.
Okay, I never seen it from. Oh, the joining of 72 and 554?
Yes.
Are they gonna put a traffic light in it?
Right now, it's not in the plans, the town has been pushing for it. but and I understand right now it's on hold because they had some design problems and they're waiting for revised plans out of the engineering department at the DOT.
Yeah, I see.
So that may be another, month or two before they get those corrected plans.
Just a comment on the inspection of single units for houses. I was a property manager in my younger days, and in some tough places like Elizabeth, which borderlines with Newark and Linden and Rawway. You gotta be careful because there are slumlords that scan for towns that lacks their codes and stuff. And believe me, I've experienced it. Wherever they do have it lax, the slumlords come in, and shortly after they're in, you've got a drug problem that follows. So just a word of caution on that one.
Thank you. Ms. Clemente?
Marion Clemente, 565 East Bay. Mr. Billy, on the Oyster Creek closure, we need to fight for decommissioning, a full decommissioning of that plant, not the way Exelon wants to do it. They just want a simple closing.
Now, this meeting is looking for input when the plant closes and the impact it's having on the communities, financial and energy-wise. I have no power to say
You
it should close.
would, if everybody is, you do have power, just like they were complaining about the lawsuit and with the Pine Snakes. You absolutely made the wrong decision to not pursue that. This here, the decommissioning provides for jobs for a longer period of time. So economically, it makes more sense. Exelon doesn't want to do that, but we as the community need to push for that.
Okay, probably in September, we're hoping, and this was, I spoke to the people up in Lacey and Ware County. They're hoping to put together a town hall meeting of all three towns, for residents of all three towns to come and express their opinions. And then we would all be there taking in that input.
Yes, but it doesn't hurt, but you're gonna be having meetings in between then and now.
Probably one other meeting just to put the whole thing together.
Well, I suggest you bring this up, because they were supposed to have another meeting that Dorton Pony Show that they were supposed, the NRC was supposed to put on.
This is the governor's office.
I understand that. They haven't had that yet, but the decommissioning, and I encourage you to do research on this, so that you're educated on what the right thing to do is.
They're looking to switch that over to not nuclear, they wanna go to gas.
Natural gas
But we're on
plant
top of
or
that, and I
other
understand everything you're
No,
saying.
I don't, it should be fully decommissioned.
Yes, it produces 450 megawatts. We'd be living by candles down here.
You're absolutely going out.
Anybody else? Mr. Howard?
No.
Mike Howard, Birdsall Street. I talked about the handicapped area down at the dock. I drove by there yesterday. I don't think they did anything today. It's still a mess, and you got a holiday coming.
Public Works has an extensive list to prepare the bayfront for the holiday weekend. The dock is on that list. They will be doing a number of items down there this week.
Okay. The street sweeper. Why does our street sweeper use our tax dollars to sweep Route 9?
Whenever we have special events, we like to sweep Route 9 to give a good impression of the town.
What special event did we have last Thursday?
We probably were preparing for the kids to come down to the gazebo area on Friday.
So they could clean up, we had to clean up Route 9?
But they had to paint some curbs. too.
Yes,
That
they
was
painted
curb
curbs.
paint, So you had all the debris up against the curb.
That street sweeper's been down as far as the motel is concerned. What curbing down there?
We painted the
As far as
curbing.
the A and P.
We painted curbing around the,
I know, you painted it around the thing there. You painted on county roads again, and on a state highway we painted.
Mhm.
Again, allegedly, I've heard you say that the county owes us a couple of $100,000 worth of stuff. Why aren't they doing that and taking it off of our bill?
Again, we wanted the kids to be active. They wanted to improve the downtown. We gave them a list of work to do. They performed that work.
And they were painting curbs?
They were painting curbs, they were painting fences, they painted
I
gazebos.
can
They
understand that,
they
that's on
did
the
it-
sidewalk.
they
I don't
did-
understand
they
putting
did a
kids on
number
the
of things.
top.
They did a
That's the
number of
problem I would
things.
have with that. But again, the street sweeper, I don't understand why it does county roads, and it does,
Mhm.
and it does state roads. Why? I pay state taxes, I pay county taxes. Last year, you guys wanted to buy a new street sweeper. Now I know why. We're wearing it out on everybody else's road but ours. Well, except on my street, I get stuff 4 times a week, so I don't understand that either, but that's something else. The trees on Bay Avenue. You brought the, you were telling me about it,
Yes.
the last time. When are we getting those back? One's been missing for 2 years, one's been missing for going on a little over a year.
Well, yeah, you told me like you like to see them all gone.
No, I didn't say that. You said that we need a special tree so that it doesn't grow into the power lines.
That is
I said
correct.
if we can't replace those 2 trees with the other ones, then maybe we should take them down. I never said take them down.
Well, and I would agree with the fact that the trees probably should be removed because they've been a problem all along, and replace them with some nice barrels there, barrels with some nice plants or bushes in there that won't grow up into the power lines and don't create a hazard. for
Those trees have been
everybody
there for years. I don't even see them. I don't think they've grown an inch in
else.
the.
They're trimmed all the time.
Oh, and that's, you just answered the question then.
They have to be
Except
trimmed.
for the one, when are the trees gonna be replaced with the identical brand that are there already?
We'll evaluate that.
Evaluation. We can plant trees as soon as a car has an accident in the park. Hits a tree and the next day a tree is planted. It's been 2 weeks and now we're still gonna actually it's been 2 years, but we're still gonna evaluate it,
Take a look at it.
okay? There's 2 holes there that need trees in them. That's the hole, that's the picture you're gonna look at. When are we gonna do this?
We will evaluate it, and we will take the appropriate action.
Okay, so next time I come here, you'll be able to tell me all about this evaluation and what we're gonna do.
Yes or no, right? Is that what you're asking for, whether we're gonna replace them or not? I don't, Mike, I haven't taken notice of that. I'll
Well,
take a
look where
look
the yoga
myself.
sign is, that's what's blocking what used to be a tree.
I'll go take a look
And
at
the
it
other one,
myself.
somebody paved it over.
We'll take a look and then I guess the committee will decide and we've
He's
got
talking about the
the,
one, he's talking about the one tree that was obviously probably poisoned a few years back, because it died instantly, all the other trees were fine. The other one was hit by the county snowplow and knocked out. They both happened to be in front of Triage's trees, correct? Those are-
Right.
They're the two you're talking about,
That's the only 2 missing.
yes.
So we're gonna hear about it next meeting now. Thank you.
anybody else? Ma'am?
Laura Cogell, Benjamin Court. I have to compliment the council on the beautification of the property in front. However, walking through it today makes me wonder whether it's being maintained at all. There are weeds growing through the sidewalk, there are weeds all over the gardens, the bushes are not being trimmed properly. The grass in the front is, I'd say, a good 5 inches high. I objected when all of the money was spent to do this.
Open space too. That's where you book it.
Because I'm sure that we could have gotten a lot of volunteers. I, for one, would have volunteered to help do that. But it's not being maintained. So if we talk about beautification and murals and painting curbs so everyone thinks that we're wonderful and clean and gleaming, the entrance to our municipal court, to our police department and our town hall looks like a vacant lot.
Did we have that on a regular schedule?
Yes, sir.
Well, apparently, the regular schedule was not enough. I thought, okay, rain, but if I can manage to keep my grass cut in between these days of rain, I'm sure that the council can provide for this.
Well, if that's the case, we'll be sure to do a better job.
Please,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Do I have a motion to close?
Motion to close the public.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
New business, approval of minutes.
Thank you very much
Township Committee meeting May 7th, 2012.
Motion approved.
Second?
Roll call?
Raymond Marcella?
Yes.
Raymond Morano?
Yes.
Raymond Melchiondo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sewell.
Yes. Old business, second reading, ordinance 2012-13.
An ordinance amending chapter 55 land use of the Code of the Township of Barnegat, in particular section 55-181.2, entitled Division 2 West Parkway.
Do I have a motion open to the public?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any comment on this? Yes, come on up.
Mary Ann Flynn, 565 East Bay. This, from what you had said earlier, this is the same as East Bay. Are these signs on public property or private property, or both?
Well, within the township.
So a person on their private property can't put up a sign that's larger than,
Good question. Correct? Yes. Yes. There are 2 foot square maximum size for any
on
political
my
sign.
private property. If I
Yes.
wanted to put a sign up larger
Yes.
than that, I would not be able to do that.
Yes, correct. I mean, a law is a law, whether it's speed limit or a political sign. That's exactly what it is.
So these are only political signs?
Only political signs. So
I
if you wanna
still
put a
object to
big,
that.
big sign up for something else, I guess that's a little tough.
Anybody else? Okay.
Briefly.
I hope so.
Thank you for putting up with that earlier, Mayor. I knew you before you were mayor. Anyhow, why did this ordinance come about? I mean, for a year, years ago, I made a lot of big signs, I put up a lot of signs in my political active years. What happened? What happened?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, 'cause you came up
A
with
lot of reasons. It was basically my idea that the big 4x4 signs, which actually, if our ordinance said, you could put a 4x8 sign, just full sheet of plywood, political sign up. They're too big, they get in the way of everybody's sight, when they're pulling up the corners, whatever. They lean over in the wind because for the most part, most people that install them, they don't install them properly enough so that they stand up and stay straight up for 45 days before an election. That was the main reason for it. A lot of people complained about it, and they were an eyesore. So, obviously, well, if you just limit it to a smaller sign, you won't have that issue. The other thing too, anybody here who ran for election knows that whenever we put them up on any state highway, whether it be Route 9 or Route 72, 2 days later, here comes the DOT in their truck, and they pull them all up, they take them down to the yard in Manahawkin, you gotta go back down there, pick them all up, put them back up again. And that's one of the reasons why.
Well,
And everybody here was in
I don't
agreement.
plan on putting any more signs up. I put enough signs up in my time, but, back some of yours probably. But, I just wondered, because, it seems, if a guy wanted to put up a sign, why are you telling me you can't put it up? That's my.
Well, you can put up
it's
a
not
sign,
that-
but just
I
to limit
object.
to the
You're-
size.
I agree with your your interpretation and all, but I don't know, I think you overstepped if you say you can't put up a big 2x, we've been using, before most of you guys ever moved to Barnet, we put up 4x4 signs,
Oh, yeah.
And I probably some of the old wood still in my house from 20 years ago, but
A lot of cable wires you hit too.
Yeah, right. You dig in post, people out there digging with a post.
yeah,
hole
well,
digger.
we did shut off all settlers one year, remember that?
Yeah,
We still have those tall posts.
But anyhow, I just don't think, I'm not objecting to your ordinance, believe me. But I think when you start telling a guy that you can't put this sign up, you're infringing on, I know if it was me and I wanted to put a sign, I'd feel pretty bad, I ain't gonna put no sign. But it just seems like you're going in the wrong direction. But it
Yeah,
seems like.
infringing on
Thanks.
trees, thank you. Anybody else? Motion to close the
Motion to
public?
close the public.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Raymond Lasella?
Yes.
Raymond Morano?
No, I voted east no, west no.
You did?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Raymond Melchiondo?
You're welcome. The privacy
Yes.
item, I think you may have a problem with.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sewell.
Yes. Resolution on the formal action agenda, resolution 2012-273.
Resolution authorizing payment of bill list in the amount of $4,442,944.18.
Have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Lisella?
Yes.
Committeeman Moreno?
Yes.
Committeeman Melchiondo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sherwood?
Yes. Resolution 2012-274.
Resolution authorizing emergency temporary appropriations for the current fund.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Lisella?
Yes.
Committeeman Moreno?
Yes.
Committeeman Melchiondo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sherwood?
Yes. Resolution 2012-275.
Resolution authorizing emergency temporary appropriations for the water sewer fund.
Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Lisella?
Yes.
Committeeman Moreno?
Yes.
Committeeman Melchiondo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sherwood?
Yes. Consent agenda.
The below listed items are considered to be routine by the Township of Barnegat and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no formal discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Motion to approve the consent, or adopt the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Lisella?
Yes.
Committeeman Moreno?
Yes on everything but 297, I abstain.
Committeeman Melchiondo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Sherwood?
Yes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, Frank.